Essendon's impressive start to the season continued in round 8, the Bombers breaking an 11-year drought at the Gabba against Brisbane with a 36-point win on the road. David ZAHARAKIS starred across half-forward. Using his speed, he gathered 20 disposals and kicked 4 memorable second-half goals in a best-on-ground performance. It was a night of mixed emotions for Watson, the Bomber skipper going down with a hamstring injury that would see him miss a month of football. Hocking would also spend some time on the sidelines, suspended for 3 matches after this high hit. In front of more than 83,000 fans, round 9 was the annual dream time at the G clash against Richmond. Angus MONFRIES, Leroy Jetta and David ZAHARAKIS all booted 3 goals for the game and were pretty lively up forward.
ZAHARAKIS snaps for goal. It's a beauty.
Sam Lonergan and Nathan Lovett-Murray worked hard through the midfield, and young gun Dyson HEPPELL continued to impress in his debut season. A slow start again proved costly, and despite a late charge by the Bombers, the Tigers had the better of the contest for the majority of the match, ending Essendon's 3-game winning streak with a 16-point defeat.
Yes!
On the big stage of Friday night football, in round 11, Essendon took on Melbourne at the MCG in the call to arms game. Paddy Ryder was busy early, playing a lone key forward in Michael Hurley's absence. The Bombers' big man booted 2 second-quarter goals.
Good, doesn't it? She's kicked 2.
Sam Lonergan worked tirelessly all game, picking up 29 disposals, including 6 clearances to be one of the Bombers' best. Jake MELKSHAM also prolific throughout the midfield, gathering 25 possessions and kicking a goal. Alex Brown made a fiery start to AFL football, and while the Bombers led at half-time by 7 points, after the break, the Demons kicked 6 unanswered goals to take control of the match. Late goals gave the Bombers a real sniff, but in the end, it wasn't enough to bridge the gap. In need of a win, the Bombers flew west in round 12 to take on Fremantle at Patterson Stadium. Essendon skipper Jobe Watson returned from injury and immediately picked up from where he left off. In his home state, speedster Leroy Jetta was among the Bombers' best, breaking the lines and kicking 2 goals for the match. Another West Australian, Paddy Ryder, was lively up forward, booting 4 goals in another impressive performance. But despite their best efforts, the Dockers were simply too strong and ran away with a 34-point win. The big names were back for the Bombers' clash with the Kangaroos in round 13 at Etihad Stadium, and Michael Hurley continued to show why he's fast becoming a superstar of the competition. The swingman was sent forward and booted 4 goals. Hurley was ably supported by Angus MONFRIES, who finished with 3. Hocking returned from suspension and quickly found himself on the sidelines again. New recruit Michael HIBBERD found his feet in the AFL. His skillful left boot and ability to read the play signalled a big future ahead. And while Brent Stanton, Ben HOWLETT and Jobe Watson put in strong performances in the midfield, it wasn't enough to get the team over the line. The Kangaroos winning by 21 points. Essendon came up against Hawthorn on Friday night in round 14 at the MCG. Brent Stanton continued his rich vein of form, the midfielder notching up 31 possessions and kicking 2 goals for the night. Hocking fronted up and again put his body on the line, while it was another outstanding performance from David ZAHARAKIS that stood out. Both across half-forward and in the midfield, his speedy and silky skills were on show for all to see. Leroy Jetta was the Bombers' best up forward, booting 3 goals. But the night unfortunately didn't go to plan, Hawthorn finishing easy winners. Looking Looking to break a 5-game losing streak and coming up against the undefeated Cats, not many gave the Bombers a chance in round 15 at Etihad Stadium, but the Bombers produced one of the upsets of the year. Veteran Andrew Welsh set the tone early, playing a defensive role on Matthew Scarlett and booting 2 goals of his own. Angus MONFRIES booted 3, including some magic from the boundary.
Looks at what's on offer, not much, so he kicks for goal!
Developing a cult status among the Bomber faithful, forward Stuart CRAMERI continued his incredible year. The next generation standing tall against the Cats.
Slowed things down a little.
HURLEY, HOWLETT, HOCKING, HARDINGHAM, MELKSHAM and HEPPELL, all among the Bombers' best.
Have got to be home now.
The clash of the sash and a chance for redemption in round 16 against Richmond, and it was a stunning 10 unanswered goals that gave the Bombers an important victory at the MCG. ZAHARAKIS provided the X factor, the smooth-moving midfielder putting together a string of consistent performances. HOCKING was aiming high, including this contender for Mark of the Year.
He's become a screamer.
Doing the damage up forward, Stu CRAMERI and Angus MONFRIES were again among the goals, booting 3 each.
The trouble needed Batchelor to hang on. MONFRIES makes him pay.
Brent STANTON also among the Bombers' best, his aerobic ability proving the difference. The Bombers running all over the Tigers to win by 39 points.